We all got to test out Meta Ray-Ban displays. A question popped up in my head. When does this get commoditized? And what role does Qualcomm play in the entire?
When the internet first started, mobile internet developed faster in markets that were not traditionally internet markets. And I think we're going to see the same thing with those new classes of devices with AI.
One of the most influential figures in global tech and the semiconductor industry, Cristiano is the president and CEO of Qualcomm, the company secretly powering the entire world. From his early days as an engineer in Brazil to leading one of the most critical tech firms on the planet, Cristiano has been at the center of every major shift in mobile and wireless technology. Under his leadership, Qualcomm has gone beyond just smartphone chips, pushing innovation in AI, automotive, XR, and the future of connected devices.
Every time I go to India, people riding their motorcycles and they get their phone and they put between the helmet that tells you that why not I using a smart glass?
What's the top challenge for you right now? What's a call you've taken recently in the last 6 months or the last year that you got wrong? Ladies and gentlemen, I am with the CEO of Qualcomm, and I loved your keynote.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And
Thank you.
I'm also really glad you took the time to look at our trailer. I want to know, we do a bunch of things, but from the game dev side, right? The X-Elites, they constantly kept getting better. You are sort of gunning for a serious laptop, a serious computing device that everybody can have. What's the vision there? So far, how have sales been? How has response been?
We're incredibly happy because we entered this market. It was already established market because we thought we could do something unique. And we always believe in the mobile PC conversions, and we believe we could do something that will change a little bit your PC experience. And we're delivering on that. I think if you look at some of those devices with X Elite, they're very fast. They look very cool. The form factor is small, and then tons of battery life, multiple days of battery life, where people didn't expect to have that on a PC. But the other part is we knew that this is going to change. I think if you hear what Google is saying, if you look what Satya is saying about the agentic experience coming to PCs, that's the disruption, that's the entry point, and I think that's created an opportunity for us. Having said that, we just started. We launch in the first retail in the United States in the top 5 European markets. We're expanding to other markets right now, including India. And we expect that we're going to go to enterprise commercial next. So right now we're tracking about 9% share for somebody that started from zero. I think we're very happy. We look at other players in the PC. It took them 7 years to get to about that market share. So it's going great. What you're going to see here is we're investing on it. We have new chips. We want to be disruptive. We want to, again, change the performance. And one of the things you will see probably as we announce new products at Snapdragon Summit and how much gaming is going to improve. And I want to talk a little bit about gaming because we need to be thinking about gaming a little different. By the way, super excited about the gaming you show me. I can't wait to see it running on Snapdragon X Elite. But gaming is an area that I am incredibly excited about AI because we have all this gaming experience. We talk about building great graphics, and that's what we're doing. One of the biggest improvements you see from one generation to the other will be graphics. But AI also changes the game. You have AI for known player characters. You have AI for you to interact with the game, and every interaction is going to be different. And I think we're going to even see AIs changing the gameplay as you move into the game. So exciting time for gaming.
Yeah. So I have a question, right? I tried the 1X Sugar product. Have you tried it? It's this console that uses the Snapdragon inside it. It's from China. It's this handheld gaming device. I have a technical question for you, right? And I'm asking you to predict the future here, which is, you saw the game that I showed you. That's a PC console game, right? Do you have a timeline in mind for that to eventually be able to be played on a mobile phone?
That is a great question. This is a great question. And I think when you think about the future of gaming, and I'm going to answer your question from different angles, okay? First, I am going to talk a little bit about console games. I know we talk about PCs and phones, but I want to talk console games. So we have a product that we did with Sony. It is incredibly successful. When we launched it, I think it was sold out, which is the PlayStation Portal. And the PlayStation Portal is it's a Snapdragon chipset on a PlayStation that you extend the gameplay from the console to the portal. And the user experience at the time was, I'm starting playing the game in the console. I want to go play in my room. I want to go play sitting in the sofa, my bed. I'm going to continue game playing everywhere. And I think we're about to see this happening now, which is the whole experience of gaming, especially AAA games, they're going to be developed in a way that you're going to start playing on your PC, on your console, and then you finish on your phone, and then you go back to your PC. And there's so many titles thinking about this. We're seeing the full convergence of mobile and PC. We see AI making devices enabling major games with things like super resolution, as an example.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have the whole gaming experience changing into a different experience now enabled by AI. So I expect that we're going to see more and more, especially as you saw in the conversation with the keynote with Google, as they're also going into the personal computing devices. You're going to see the entire Android mobile ecosystem now running on PCs and laptops. That's going to be on Windows. That's going to be on Android. I think Microsoft is enabling that as well. We're also going to see the PC ecosystem running on mobile devices, and the whole...
So it's sort of merging.
Yes. The whole interaction with gaming will be different. And we're serious. Conversion of mobile and PC is inevitable.
So you think there'll be one platform, mobile and
There
PC?
will be multiple platforms, but I think you're going to have gaming are going to be designed for you to play at multiple devices. As I talk in the keynote, I think we're going to a future that is not going to be about one device. It's going to be multiple devices working together. And I think that's going to be true for the use cases, and gaming is going to be one of the use cases.
Interesting. I want to shift slightly, right? Last week, I was with a bunch of creators and Mark Zuckerberg. We all got to test out the Meta Ray-Ban displays.
We're super proud of that product with them.
It is phenomenal, right? Especially, everything, the glasses, the waveguides, the EMGs. It's a piece of the future, right? So thank you so much for being a part of the future in that way, which is now the present. So I shouldn't even be calling it the future. But the minute I used it, a question popped up in my head, which is, how much of a lead time does Meta have on all the other companies? How long do you think it will take for 10 different companies to do this? When does this get commoditized, this new technology? And what role does Qualcomm play in the entire?
Okay, there's a lot of questions in there.
Yeah.
So why don't we break that down and question that? I'm going to go maybe talk about the first component.
Yeah.
About companies lead on new technology. If I go back in history, there's a lot we can learn for the history of technology transition. And I think I will say, even within Qualcomm, we learned a lot. We have been fortunate enough that we have always reinvented ourselves. So we didn't miss any technology transition. For example, in the mobile industry, many companies missed technology transitions in the mobile industry. You look at BlackBerry, you look at Nokia as an example, right? So I think what happened is, when new platforms arrive, usually the company that has no legacy is very quick to embrace the new technology and innovate it. For example, what I like about what Meta is doing, they saw early on that you're going to have devices that you can wear like glasses, because of the simple concept of, which started as a conversation about the metaverse, which is, can I merge the physical and the digital world? Can I superimpose? Is that going to be important for the future of social, for example, and the future of how people communicate with each other and call and messages, like you think about WhatsApp as an example. But then also about this agent where you see the device see. And there's no legacy. There's nothing to worry about. You can start with the new. And I think that's what we see, the excitement and the focus of Meta, how they started with glasses. And the Ray-Ban Meta is an overwhelming success. I think exceed everybody's expectations, and I think show what's possible. For companies to continue to be in the lead, you have to keep going. You have to keep going. You have to keep pushing the use cases, the experience. And I think you started to see now. Now it's about adding the display and information on the display. Every technology if you just develop something good and you stop, there are a lot of companies doing that right now. If you just stop and you just thinking you're just going to monetize your success for a long time, that's very risky. So I think I am incredibly motivated about how our partners keeping adding and inventing new capabilities. It's always a race. Success today does not mean success tomorrow unless you keep reinventing and building new products. And I think that's what's happening. And the last part of your answer is, I think that technology is going to get democratized. It's interesting. I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you an India example. Every time I go to India, we're very proud of our teams there. We have over 10,000 people across multiple sites. And I always notice one thing. People riding their motorcycles and they get their phone and they put between the helmet and right here. They stuck it right here. That tells you that why not I using a smart glass? Incredible potential from navigation, for everything. So you can see as the technology becomes available, the potential is huge. So I think this technology is going to come from different companies at different capabilities from different markets. It's going to be tailored to every market. It's very personal. It's very regional. And I think the role of Qualcomm is to build a platform that is open and work with everybody so actually we can bring that technology and innovation. I'm incredibly excited about those new devices. And I'm going to use one last comment. I know I'm giving you a long answer, but this is important. When the internet first started, it was interesting to see that the mobile internet developed faster and more complete in markets that were not traditionally internet markets. So the mobile internet developed faster in Brazil, in India, in China, because people start experiencing the internet to a mobile device. And I think we're going to see the same thing with those new classes of devices of AI.
You think it's going to be slower adoption from America?
I don't think it's going to be slow adoption, but I think we're going to see the internet, like the mobile internet, reshape the internet. And now the mobile internet is bigger than how the internet started with PCs. I see it's going to be like that with those new devices. And now actually the opposite. I think the speed of adoption of those technologies globally is going to be much faster.
Wow. Hey, I have a question on AI.
Yes.
Because I saw it's a very important part of your keynote, right? Do you have data center plans? Do you want to get into data centers?
Yes. We had recently announced that we are building products for the data center. We also did announce an acquisition. We're waiting for the approval, AlphaWave. We believe there are two reasons that we can be incredibly disruptive on the data center. And how I feel about the data center, it's a massive opportunity. It will continue to expand. The edge will continue to expand with AI, but the data center will continue to evolve. And what's happening with the data center is as AI gets scale, you're starting to move the center of mass of the compute from training to inference. And inference is becoming bigger and bigger. You see those inference clusters. And once you build that, it's because you're not talking about creating an AI, but AI is going to production. And if it's going to production, there's going to be competition. So then we believe we can build something because of our mobile DNA, something that is incredibly power efficient, and changes the equation of tokens per dollar, tokens per watt. So we're building...
Specifically on inference.
We're building inference accelerators, both at the chip level as well as the rack level. And we also have a very good CPU asset that I think we prove it, how our CPU is working on phones and PC now, in cars. And we extend that CPU to the data center, whether it's what we call the head node controlling several GPUs or NPUs, or a general purpose CPU. And the reason we're doing this is because power matters. So we build products. We had said in our earnings call, we are in a very advanced negotiations with significant hyperscalers, and you should see and expect Qualcomm being a player in the data center.
Interesting. Can't wait. Can't wait to see who you end up partnering with, who ends up doing inference with you.
Crossing my fingers, we can...
It feels like you want to give me an answer, but you're like, hey.
I can't give you right now, but shortly.
Shortly. Interesting. You know, I have a question on, you mentioned cars, right? So I have a specific question on cars, which is, I use an old car, right? So not connected to anything. It's got a little bit of, music, and it's got a, even the maps thing doesn't work. I've been hearing a lot about the connected car, right? And I've been hearing a lot about having more compute in a car makes sense because a car can do a lot of things. But I haven't found, or I haven't seen interesting use cases yet. So question to you is, with everything that's going on with auto, right? And everything that you've been powering at auto, what are some use cases you've seen that customers really like? And does that factor into their buying decision of that car?
Yes. First, 100%. Especially new car customers. One of the key decision criteria is actually the digital capabilities of the car. We have seen it. I think the car really became a computing surface. People, they drive the car, they go from A to B, but they get entertained from the car, they get connected from the car, they get productive on the car. And I think this is a fast evolving. So we're enabling the digital cockpit of the majority of the car brands in the world. I think we're designing one with virtually every car company. And we're at the beginning to see some of the use cases. So I'm going to tell you about some of the use cases that I find incredibly exciting right now. And I'm going to tell you where this is going with AI. First, right now, you can start to see things that kind of significantly enhance navigation. Some of our customers right now, when you're doing navigation, and it has the unique thing about the car system, the car is not a phone, it's not a PC, it's a car. So the car works a little bit different. So you can integrate like Google Maps, for example, with other inputs from the car, and you're following a route, you have to make a turn. You can see in some of our customers, it show in the digital cockpit, it showed the actual image from the front camera on the car with an overlay exactly where you need to take a turn. Those are some examples how navigation gets significantly enhanced. You can see this like today. We can see how it changes the whole experience for you to use voice to control. We have some of our customers right now, they're using the cameras. They're looking to you inside the car. A kid on the back seat can just point the finger and say, can you open this window? And the camera will know it pointed to that window, open that window, how you change any settings. And this is becoming better. It's changing navigation, it's changing your driving experience. Of course, the popular use case of assisted driving. And navigation on autopilot. We just launched this for BMW. I drove the new BMW iX3 with our stack last week in Germany for 45 minutes. Never had driven in Germany before. I was 130 kilometers per hour, hands-free on the Autobahn. And you have, even the camera in the car is looking at you and knows whether you're going to pay attention or not to the road. So you have all of those use cases already happen right now. Where does this going? Now you think about all of the cameras of the car, see what you see, and you think about the ability to run a lot of AI in the car. So some examples of what's possible, we actually demonstrated at last CES. With one of our customers, we trained the model on the entire service database of the car. So you want to know something about the car, this button or something, you just ask the car tell you. But then something happens with the car say, this happens. And you know the service database, you know what it is, and you say, this happened, you're gonna have to replace this. It's okay, you can continue to drive. And then you can go in and say, look, your dealership is so-and-so, there's an availability, you're available in the car, do you want me to set up an appointment for you? You're gonna go I am gonna go drive from this city to the next city. If you see anything interesting along the way, just let me know, I'm interested in historical things. Or you can chat. Like we have this thing that we did with Mercedes-Benz on our platform with this company for Will.i.am, which FOI radio. You're listening to radio. And then all of a sudden you can start chat with the car and you have your agent and you have conversations, you can do search and endless. And what I like about the car is what I told you about the glass. There's no legacy. So, and voice is natural. So the agentic things can develop super fast. And I think you're going to go pretty soon to this future that you're going to have an expectation that you're going to start things on your phone, start things on your PC, continue on your car.
Seamlessly move over.
Yes.
I have a slightly predictive question from you, right? Do you think self-driving would work in India with the roads that we have and, slightly clogged roads, a little bit of, the road structure isn't great. Do you think it'll work in India?
Look, I think it will. The question when you think about self-drive is where it's most useful and where to get scale. Like, for example, one of the things I like about level 2 plus, for example, which is you can have highway autopilot, and when you're in a highway, the car is driving, the car stops, the car changes lanes, the car does everything. You don't have to do anything, and especially if you have congestion, it's at a lower speed. It's even safer. The car will keep doing and will stop, will change lanes. So
it's safer when it's slower.
That's going to be, well, we designed those things to be safe, like the ones we launched at BMW, to safe as low and safe 130 kilometers per hour. That's not the issue. I think those things are designed to be safe. But even if you have congestion, you're going to find it useful. So the way I think about autonomous driving and assisted driving, I like to look at those things combined, right? When it's most useful to every driver. Assisted driving, so if something happens, the car can prevent an accident, incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
And I think that's true everywhere. And I think you can continue to enhance those assisted driving systems for safety. And then you're going to have a range of scenarios depending on the market, depending on the car, and depending on what the desire of the driver. Do you really want full self-drive, or you want the car to drive with you? And I think when I look at the India market, all of those things are possibilities in their market for all of them.
Interesting. I have two more questions for you. These are slightly more personal questions, right?
Yes.
Questions for you as a CEO. What's the top challenge for you right now?
Look, the top challenge, and it's okay. I like the challenge. I think as Qualcomm, we always like be the underdog since the beginning of our company. When we started with CDMA, nobody believed it. So the interesting thing is we're incredibly proud of the technology we create, and I think we're one of the few companies that we decide to go to a whole new market, that we need to understand the market. We have to prove ourselves. We have to develop the core competence. And in every new market we chose to enter, we actually build the leading platform from a technology. And sometimes it's a challenge for people to be able to see that Qualcomm is a lot more than handsets. We love handsets. We always going to love handsets. We always going to be the company doing everything possible to set the pace of innovation in mobile. That's Snapdragon. That's Snapdragon Summit. But our technology become relevant to automotive, to the future of industrial, to robotics, to the data center as we talk about it. And I think there's so many investors that still wanted to pay Qualcomm. This is the handset company. But eventually, we're just going to get recognition. We just need to continue executing, and it's going to come in time.
Interesting. That's a very good challenge to have. Like having people not fully believe in you till you prove things out.
I love it.
The world would be very boring if you put out stuff and you didn't have critics, right? Like
Yeah.
it's part of the game. Last question for you, right? What's a call you've taken recently in the last 6 months or the last year that you got wrong?
It's not that we got wrong. I think, sometimes what I like about the company, and I think we have a track record in mobile, we were able to imagine the future. Like, for example, I'll give an example. We're the first company that actually understood and created the concept of the smartphone. I think most people don't know we have most of the patents for app stores, for example. At the time, we got a Palm Pilot connected with a modem and said, like, this should be a phone, right? And we actually created the very first concept with Kyocera of a smartphone. And we realized when you're going to get a computer and a phone together, we had this idea because when we created mobile broadband, we realized, why? If you have broadband, you need to have a computer, and the computer is fit in your hand. And when we talk about those things was way before the launch of Android. Like we're well early on its time. We need to go do our part, develop the technology, but the rest of the ecosystem takes time to develop. So I'll say, it's not that we got the call wrong. It's very clear. And if you like the keynote, you probably see how AI is going to develop. It's going to go to the edge. And we've been preparing, we've been ready for it, but sometimes the market doesn't move as fast as we'd like them to move. So I would say we wish the timing on the AI transition it was a little faster, but it's okay. It's going to happen. And I think we're starting to see the beginning of that transition right now.
This was a fantastic conversation. I feel like we went on a journey from everywhere, from games, we went to self-driving in India, and then finally ended at, put the past of what you guys did with mobile phones, the plan that you had ready, but, execution timing matters as well. I thought it was a great sort of journey that we went through.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. I know it's super valuable. And I know that, having you for 30 minutes is a big deal. So thank you so much for doing this.
No, thank you for taking your time to talk to me. Appreciate it. I enjoy our conversation.